Understand that while Ellen White lived, the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist Church hated her. You have to know this, that she was put on a boat to Australia. I went to Australia once. Doc, you probably been to Australia. It was a 15-hour flight from Los Angeles. I had to fly to Los Angeles and then get on a flight 15 hours to Australia. They put that old woman on a boat to Australia because they wanted not to hear her anymore. You have to understand the kind of hatred that you have to have for somebody to put a little old lady on a boat to Australia. And this is what the Adventist leadership relationship was to Ellen White while she lived, because she critiqued the system. While she lived, the people did not want to hear from her. But after 1915, when she died, they took the writings that she had and used them as a source of income. Now, I want you to think about your grandma and the people in the church who have talked about your grandmother and abused her, and how you would feel if after your grandmother died, then the same people who hated your grandmother, the same people who abused your grandmother, then utilized her special recipe in order to bankroll their church. You would be incensed. But this is what happened when we look at the history of Ellen White and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. She was used after she died. They didn't want present revelation. They wanted something that was systematized and organized for profit. Now, it's not to say, now understand that I believe that Ellen White had the gift of prophecy. She was the messenger of God. I believe that she had a word for the people in the time. I thank God for her ministry. But her ministry was never meant in her own words to be what it has become today. It has become a tool of manipulation. And when we realize that she has been used, not her herself, but her legacy has been used as a tool of manipulation, then we ask, well, what is the spirit of prophecy? Well, Joel says that in the last days that God's going to pour his spirit out on all flesh, and that sons and daughters would prophesy. It was intended that God's people all would have this spiritual gift where they could speak words that were important, speak words that were seasoned with the Spirit of God to the times. But because we have been colonized using this manipulative tool, then we have believed that men and women are no longer enabled to speak authoritatively in the moment with the Spirit of God. The spirit of prophecy is God's spirit moving in God's people, not a bunch of books collecting dust on your bookshelf.